Okay, previously we studied simple molecules. What are simple molecules? Simple molecules are covalent compounds, but they don't have joint structures. That is why we say those compounds that they are simple. I hope you remember the topic of the heading of last topic, that is ionic and simple molecular. So we studied which compound is simple and which compound is ionic. For that we did our exercise in which we actually stated that we responded that okay, this compound has high melting point, that is why it is an ionic compound, and why the boiling or melting points are low, because of weak intermolecular forces between the particles, remember. But here in the case of giant covalent structures, melting and boiling points will be high. Actually, in our syllabus, there are three giant structures are included. That is diamond, graphite, and silicon dioxide. Diamond and graphite both are allotropes of carbon. What are allotropes? Made up of means same elements, same atom. They have similar chemical properties, but different physical properties. As it is mentioned, you are already aware that diamond is shiny, it is a crystal, but graphite is not a shiny, it is dull black solid, which used in pencil. So first of all, let's see what actually diamond is, which type of covalent structure it, and what is the geometry of diamond. Let me add Anusha. Anusha is here. Okay. So Anusha beta, we just started uh, what actually giant covalent structures are. So we have just started. So बच्चों, diamond is a giant covalent structure with carbon atoms forming four covalent bonds. What does it mean, four covalent bonds? As you know, carbon belongs to group number four, so it carry four electrons in its outermost shell. So, as per this statement, that each carbon forming four covalent bonds with other carbon atoms, this will be the diagram for that imagination. Alright, it means all four electrons, outermost electrons of carbon atom is busy in bonding. Alright, but this is just for your basic knowledge. Actually, the arrangement of these carbon atoms is tetrahedral, and for tetrahedral we draw this like this. Okay, this is the representation of tetrahedral arrangement. Tetra means four. Diamond is used as a cutting tool. Why? Because it is hard. The network of strong covalent bonds is difficult to break. That is why the melting point of diamond is high. All right. Graphite is a another giant covalent structure with each carbon atom, but here it forms three covalent bonds with other carbon atom, unlike the diamond. So, for example, if I remove this one, so by removing this fourth carbon, this electron is free now. So this electron can delocalize in between the joint covalent structure of graphite. So this is the reason behind the conduction of electricity, that in graphite one electron out of four electron is free to delocalize. So because of this delocalization, the electron, substance, this graphite can conduct electricity. Understood? Okay. As we saw above, that they have mentioned one use of diamond. So here one use of graphite is already also mentioned, that graphite is used as a lubricant. What are lubricants? Lubricants are oils, are viscous liquids which use in machinery and engines to remove, to actually minimize the friction so that they can function properly without any overheating. Graphite is used as a lubricant because the layers can easily be rubbed off. Means in graphite the layers can slide over each other very easily. So that is why this property is used in lubricant. Why they are easily rubbed off? Because of a weak bonding between the layers. So for this, I must draw the layered structure to give you uh, an imagination that how those layers are arranged. Like for your information, in graphite, carbon atoms arrange in hexagonal rings. Okay. So, for example, there are several rings. So, those rings will be made like this. Another ring, and if you attach, this is showing the bonding between these two rings. So, this and this can slide over each other because it is weakly bonded. All right, these layers are weakly bonded. Let me check your responses. Okay. So, you will see uh, in my worksheet several examples of the structure of diamond and graphite. By seeing that tetrahedral structure, you can easily identify that it is a diamond, and by seeing the layers of hexagonal rings, you can identify that it is a graphite. Graphite conduct electricity, ये मैंने आपको बता दिया, because some of the electrons can move along the layers, and those electrons are known as delocalized electrons. So, of in future, I will tell you that why we call these electrons a delocalized electron. Why this specific term is used for these free electrons. All right. When you revise, you need to be able to make sure that you can distinguish between keywords such as covalent and ionic and the physical properties related to these words. All right. We know that melting points and boiling points of ionic bonds are high always. But in case of covalent compounds, there are two categories. One is the simple molecule which has low BP and MP, and other is giant covalent structure which has high melting and boiling point. Graphite can conduct electricity, but diamond does not. Okay, let's do a worked example. Describe the structure of graphite and explain in terms of its structure why it is used as a lubricant. All right. First of all, graphite is made up of layers. Graphite is made up of layers of carbon atoms which are arranged in hexagons, as I mentioned, as I just drew. Each carbon atom forms bonds with three carbon atoms. Give me a minute, बच्चों, एक minute. How much time you have? Will you stay here? So you want your notebooks back? Okay, it is on my table. You can collect it. Welcome. All right. Zainab has asked a question that, sir, can they bond in other shape except for hexagon? No, this is a fixed geometry for graphite rings, as there is a fixed geometry for graphite that is tetrahedral. These are fixed. Okay, so we studied that graphite is made up of layers of carbon atoms which are arranged in hexagons. Each carbon atom forms bond with three other carbon atoms, unlike diamond in which carbon atom is forming a bond with other four carbon atoms. It is used as a lubricant because the bonding between each layer is weak, so the layers can be rubbed off easily. Okay, any problem? Okay, bachcho. Okay, now you have to apply your knowledge. In 6a, they are asking name two giant structures made up of carbon atoms. You know it. In B, they are asking explain what is meant by the term giant covalent structure. You know it. Explain why the tips of some high speed drills include diamond in their structure. It is also in your information. So please proceed.